Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudiraye. Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityaṁ bhāgavata-sevayā Bhagavati Uttama-shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nishtaki Vasudeva Katha Prashna Purusham String Punati Vaktaram Shrot Pritchakam Shrotram Statpada Salilam Yatham Shinvatam Swakatha Krishna Punye Shavana Kirtana Hridayantastava Bhadrani Vidhunoti Suritsatam Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtana Bhagavata Shravana Mathura Vasa Shri Murtira Shraddhaya Sevana Granthira Arambhakari Mangalacharana Guru Vaishnava Bhagavan Tinira Smarana Hoya Vigana Vinashana Anayasa Sapal Nija Vanchita Purana Jai Śrī Krishna Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Hari Om Tat Sat. Thank you, dear worshipful devotees. Thank you so much for taking out your valuable time to read here Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam together. After a long time, Vijaya Mataji has also joined. So thank you, Mataji. It's been a very long time to have you on our call and get your association. Trust all is well at your end. So thank you for joining. We are reading Canto 10, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Chapter 2, entitled The Prayers by the Demigods. We read till text 14 yesterday, and we were discussing how the Yogamaya was told that she agreed basically to transfer the seventh child, and she did everything as told. So when we emphasize on that point, military discipline, Prabhupada says, yes, sir, I will do. There should be attitude towards our Diksha Guru, Shiksha Guru, etc. Whatever, Karishyasi Vachanam Tava. So she basically agreed and did everything as she was told. Let's see what happens further. Garbhe pranite devakya rohinim yoga nidraya aho vishram shrito garbha iti paura vichukrushu. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. When the child of Devaki was attracted and transferred into the womb of Rohini by Yogamaya, Devaki seemed to have a miscarriage. Thus all the inhabitants of the palace loudly lamented, alas, Devaki has lost her child. Purport. All the inhabitants of the palace, includes Kamsa. When everyone lamented, Kamsa joined in compassion, thinking that perhaps because of drugs or some other external means, Devaki had undergone this abortion. The real story of what happened after Yogamaya attracted the child of Devaki into the womb of Rohini in the 7th month of Rohini's pregnancy is described as follows in the Harivamsha. At midnight, while Rohini was deep sleeping, she experienced as if in a dream that she had undergone a miscarriage. After some time, when she awoke, she saw that this had indeed happened, and she was in great anxiety. But Yogamaya then informed her, "O auspicious lady, your child is now being replaced. I am attracting a child from the womb of Devaki, and therefore your child will be known as Sankarshana." The word Yoga Nidra is significant. When one is spiritually reconnected through self-realization, one regards his material life as having been like a dream, as stated in the Bhagavad Gita 2.69. Ya nisha sarva bhutanam tasyam jagrati samyami yasyam jagrati bhutani sa nisha pashyato munehe. What is night for all beings is the time of awakening of the self for the self-realized, or the self-controlled. And the time of awakening for all beings is night for the introspective sage. The stage of self-realization is called Yog Nidra. All material activities appear to be like a dream when one is spiritually awakened. Thus, Yog Nidra may be explained to be Yog Maya. Hare Kṛṣṇa. Thank you again for joining. So this, I think Raghu Prabhu has had this question earlier. So what happened? So externally, it appeared that it was a miscarriage. But what was happening by the transcendental arrangement of the Lord, through his Yogamaya Shakti, the pregnancy was transferred, as we are learning it here. And everyone was lamenting. So not like the people of Kali Yuga, where, I don't know the statistics, but millions of abortions are done throughout the world, not because of natural reasons, but because of conscious reasons. Consciously, the mother or the father or both may decide to kill the child, actually. That's even worse than Putana. Putana was killing not children in the womb. Putana was killing born babies. So abortion is highly sinful. So one must at any cost not do that. But this was certainly not that case, although Kamsa felt like that, and everyone was basically in that compassionate spirit. So we see again this demoniac quality, sometimes here, sometimes there. So Kamsa is joining in compassion here. The word used is Kamsa joined in compassion. So demoniac nature means very, very fickle, right? They are not sthita pragya. Sthita pragya is a devotee. They are fixed in their consciousness, always in the transcendental mode. But demoniac, sometimes they could be very nice, and the very next moment they could be totally opposite. And Kamsa has shown this like multiple times. One time being the charioteer of Devaki, and the next moment trying to kill Devaki by holding her hairs in the hand, in one hand, and the sword in the other hand. One time being very nice, another time put them behind the jails. So in Prabhupada is elaborating the word Yoga Nidra, which is transcendental consciousness, self-realized soul. So any other comments, any other thoughts, questions, additions? And we've already read why the name Sankarshana, because he was transferred Akarshana, attracted from one womb to the other. It's called Sankarshana. Let's read the next verse. For those who didn't get chance yesterday, maybe they can read first.
Hare Kṛṣṇa, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, one small question. In this, it says that at midnight, while Rohini was deeply sleeping, she experienced as if in the dream that she had undergone a miscarriage. Prabhuji, this should be Devaki Mataji or Rohini Mataji who underwent kind of miscarriage?
No, it's Rohini, because when she awoke, she saw that this had happened, and the Yogavaya told that the child in the womb of Rohini is now being replaced. I'm attracting the child of from Devaki, and therefore your child will, Rohini's child here. So it's Rohini here. Will be known as Sankarshana.
Okay. I thought because Devaki Mataji is being transferred to Rohini Mataji, so I thought Devaki Mataji is actually undergoing this miscarriage. But here we can see that both, right, Prabhuji? That's how we should understand.
So what we understand, basically both were pregnant in one way, both were having child.
Yes.
Right? So Rohini, the miscarriage happened due to the transcendental arrangement of the Lord to Rohini. And then when she woke up, she had this dream, or in deep sleep, in Yoga Nidra. So it was not like a sleep of a mundane person.
Okay.
Right? It's a transcendental, because for Mahatmanastu Mam Partha Devim Prakrit, they're always under the transcendental, So all this happened because of the transcendental Leela of the Lord. And when she, after some time, she woke up and she realized that, yes, it indeed happened, right? So the miscarriage indeed happened.
Okay.
That means that miscarriage. But Yogamaya gave her the assurance that, don't worry, I'm doing this arrangement because my master has told, Krishna has told me that to transfer the womb.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji.
So in short, Balramji is the son of both, right? He was in the womb of Devaki until about 7 months, we can say. And then after that time, it was transferred to the womb of Rohini.
Thank you, Prabhuji. And we also say that I think Balram and Krishna only 15 days apart they were born, right, Prabhuji? I heard somewhere, but I'm not sure if that is.
Yeah, 15 days, but maybe not the same year.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Yeah, we need to, I guess, get more clarity. Certainly, it was not the same year because Balramji was much means few years, I think, few years elder. So there was significant means few years gap, I think, between them.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
But we probably have any insights on that?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. It's written somewhere here only. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. 15 years older.
Few years?
I think 15 years old, 15 days old. I think it's written somewhere here only. Probably we'll get it while reading.
Sure. In the 9th verse, Prabhuji. In the 9th verse, I also
yes.
Supreme. Well, Balrama was only 15 days older than Krishna.
Yeah.
9th verse.
Yeah, by the grace of Supreme Personality of Godhead, anyone can do anything, for the Lord is present in everything, all things being his parts and parcels, amsha bhagena, and increasing or decreasing. By his supreme will, Balrama was only 15 days older than Krishna. But as you said, maybe not the same year, maybe I'm not sure.
Sure, we can.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I think as we move forward, sure, I'll ask that. It's a good point. Thanks for bringing it up. I'll ask it from Senior Vaishnavas to get some more clarity on that. Let's read the next one. Number 16.
Can I read, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhu, please.
Yeah, thank you. Hare Krishna, devotees, Dandat Pranam, all praise to Srila Prabhupada. Text number 16. Bhagavan api vishvatma bhaktanam abhyanakara avivesam sa bhagena mana ana kadun bude. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thus, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the super soul of all living entities and who vanquishes all the fear of his devotees, entered the mind of Vasudeva in full opulence. Purport. The word Vishvatma refers to one who is situated in everyone's heart. Ishvara Sarvabhutanam Hruddeshu Arjuna Tishtati. Another meaning of Vishvatma is the only lovable object of everyone. Because of forgetfulness of this object, people are suffering in this material world. But if one fortunately revives his old consciousness of loving Krishna and connects with Vishvatma, one becomes perfect. The Lord is described in the third canto, second chapter and 15th verse as follows. Para paresho mahad hamsa yukto hi ajo api jato bhagavan. Although unborn, the Lord, the master of everything, appears like a born child by entering the mind of a devotee. The Lord is already there within the mind, and consequently, it is not astonishing for him to appear as if born from a devotee's body. The word avivesha signifies that the Lord appeared within the mind of Vasudeva. There was no need for a discharge of semen. That is the opinion of Śrī Pada, Sridhara Swami, and Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakura. In the Vaishnava Toshini, Srila Sanatana Goswami says that consciousness was awakened within the mind of Vasudeva. Srila Veera Raghava Acharya also says that Vasudeva was one of the demigods, and that within his mind the Supreme Personality of Godhead appeared as an awakening of consciousness. Very good. So, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. So, beautiful verse. So, here we can see that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Śrī Krishna, appeared, in the mind of Vasudeva, who, actually, of course, Vasudeva is own devotee, and here also Prabhupada says that he was also a demigod. So as we know, the demigods come, the devotees come to the planet Earth. Krishna doesn't come alone because he doesn't do his leelas with any ordinary people. He actually does this with his own devotees. Even if he has to fight, he fights with his own devotees. And also Prabhupada explains about the word Vishvatma, refers to one who is situated in everyone's heart as Paramatma. And we can see that, how Krishna appeared first in the mind of Vasudeva. And, because he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead, it is not like mundane birth like in this material world. And, even great acharyas, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura, Sridhara Swami, Sanatana Goswami, everyone is making the same point that how the consciousness is awakened within the mind of Vasudeva, like he got kind of, from a dream, he got awakening. That's what my understanding. Please add Hare Krishna and Pranam.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. I like this point here. Abhayam karaha causes, always killing the cause of fear, right? So when we have Krishna in our lives, then there will be no fear, and God is near. Why to fear? He vanquishes the fear of his devotees. When we connect to Krishna, when we keep Krishna in our mind, when we keep Krishna in our consciousness. And Shad Aishwarya Purna. Who knows that verse of Shad Aishwarya? Lakshay, you recall? Aishwaryasya Samagrasya Viryasya Yashashashriya Jnana Vairagya Shaiva Shannam Bhaga Itigana Bhaga Amsha Bhagena, with all his opulences. Bhagavan. Bhagavan means one who has the 6 opulences. Like Vidyavan, Vidwan is one who has Vidya. Dhanvan, one who has Dhana. And what else? Gyanvan, one who has Jnana. Similarly, Bhagwan means wisdom. Bhaga means opulence, glories, wealth, unlimited knowledge, unlimited beauty, unlimited strength, unlimited fame, and most important, unlimited renunciation, humility. So this is the Supreme Lord who appeared in the mind of Vasudeva. So he was not born, all these are not born as a product of what some people think was Kamsa was a big fool. Why he kept, Vasudeva and Devaki together? He could have kept them separated. So it's not how the people, how kids are born in this world by the, the male and female uniting. That's not how the Supreme Lord is born. All the Janma Karma Cha Me Divyam. It is the transcendental appearance and disappearance and the activities. So one should not think of these in a mundane perspective. Let's read the next one. Would like to read? We didn't get a chance yesterday, maybe. Read.
Yeah, I can read. Hare Kṛṣṇa devotees, text 17. Sa Bibrat Paurasam Dhāma Brajamano Yata Ravihi Durasado Tidudardasho Bhutanam Sambhuva. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation. While carrying the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead within the core of his heart, Vasudeva bore the Lord's transcendentally illuminating effulgence, and thus he became as bright as the sun. He was therefore very difficult to see or approach through sensory perception. Indeed, he was unapproachable and unperceivable even for such formidable men as Kamsa, and not only for Kamsa, but for all living entities. The word Dhāma is significant. Dhāma refers to the place where the Supreme Personality of Godhead resides. In the beginning of Srimad-Bhāgavatam 1.1.1, it is said, Dhāma Sevana Sadhan Nirasta Kuhakam Satyam Param Dhimahi. In the abode of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there is no influence of material energy. Dhamna Seva Sada Nirasta Kuhakam. Any place where the Supreme Personality of Godhead is present by his name, form, qualities, or paraphernalia immediately becomes a Dhamma. For example, we speak of Vrindavana Dhamma, the Dwarka Dham, and Mathura Dham, because in these places the name, fame, qualities, and paraphernalia of the Supreme Godhead are always present. Similarly, one is empowered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead to do something. The core of his heart becomes a Dham. and thus he becomes so extraordinarily powerful that not only his enemies but also people in general are astonished to observe his activities. Because he is unapproachable, his enemies are simply struck with wonder, as explained here by the words Tura Sado Tidur Darsaha. The word Parusham Dham have been explained by various acharyas. Sri Viraraghava Acharya says these words refer to the effulgence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vijayadwaja says that they signify Vishnu Tejas, and Sukadeva says Bhagavatam, Bhagavat Swarupa. Vaishnavi Tosani says that these words indicate the influence of the Supreme Lord's effulgence, and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that they signify the appearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Kṛṣṇa. So in this particular translation and purport, it's being described how Vasudeva became, the Lord had entered his mind, and as a result, he became very effulgent, as bright as the sun, and nobody could really see him. He was emitting very bright rays like the sun. So suddenly someone like Kamsa couldn't approach him, and not only him, but all living entities. Also in this purport, Sri Prabhupada is talking about Dhāma, and wherever the Lord resides, there is no material energy, it's all spiritual. So that's also the significance of Dhams, such as Vrindavan Dham, Mathura Dham, and so on. I'll leave it to you, Prabhuji, for more explanation. Thank you. Hare Kṛṣṇa.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. One thing which is coming to my mind is we need to appreciate what Prabhupada has done. In every purport, Prabhupada is quoting so many acharyas, especially in 10th canto as we see here. Just think about, without the purports, without Prabhupada's Bhaktivedanta purports, how could we ever be able to try to even understand even a tiny word of Bhagavatam? Prabhupada is quoting Vijayadwaja, Viraraghava-acharya, Vallabhacharya, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Vaishnava Toshni, Sanatan Goswami, Rupa Goswami, and so many acharyas and so many purports. Every purport Prabhupada is mentioning. Shripad Sridhar Swami says this, Viraraghava-acharya says this, and Vijayadwaja Tirthapada says this, the Ratnavali Tika says this. Can we imagine how many people were there with Prabhupada and Prabhupada was giving Bhaktivedanta purports? He would be sitting alone. It's not that he was like consulting with his other god brothers or his spiritual master. Of course, in the heart, it's always there. The Guru is always there in the heart. And where did he have the Veda base? Sometimes we have to refer to certain words. Oh, I remember it starts with Dehinavasmi. I can't recall what it is. So we'll just put the word Dehinavasmi and the verse will show up, right? We may have done that. Or sometimes we're looking for a verse about anger. We search anger and all the verses which talk about anger will show up. Prabhupada didn't have all those tools. Prabhupada didn't have all these, the technology 50 years back was these gadgets and all were not much used. Even mobile phone was, what to speak of computer, and all these mobile phones were very rare. Prabhupada had a simple dictaphone. He was all alone, and with so many of these tikas and acharyas purports, just imagine what Prabhupada has given us to know about, and just how much time, energy, and thoughtfulness Prabhupada has put in each and every purport to give us the essence of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, to help us really understand. So really, it's amazing. So back to this verse. It was therefore very, very difficult to see and approach through sensory perception. We cannot understand Krishna through our blunt senses because they are material. Atah Śrī Krishna Nam Adi Na Bhaved Grihat Indriya. We cannot understand through our Indriya. Na Bhaved Grihat Indriya. But how do we understand? Sevon Mukhe Hi Jivadu Swayam Eva Spurti Adaha. But when we start rendering the process of bhakti, start with Jiva, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The chanting of the holy name, honoring the Krishna Prasad, association of devotees, talking to them, asking questions, all that needs Jiva, right? Then Swayam Eva Spurti Adaha. Then the Lord can be perceived. Pratyaksha Vagamam Dharmyam Susukham Kartum Avyayam. He can be perceived through purified spiritual senses, not through conditioned material sense perception. That's a very, very important point. And the word Dhāma. Dhāma, when generally we talk about Vrindavan Dham, Jagannath Puri Dham, Dwarka, certainly. But Dham is also where Krishna resides. And Krishna says, Yatra Gayanti Mad Bhakta Tatra Tishtami Narada. Wherever my devotees come together, they chant, glorify my name, form, qualities, I am present. So in short, that place, whether it's the home of a devotee, a center, any temple in any city, in any country, that is a Dham. Any home where Krishna's name, form, qualities are sung, it's Dham. Whether that home is in Tampa, Jackson, New York, Mumbai, Delhi, even though we may be far from Mathura, Vrindavan, but we can make our home a Dham by regularly chanting, inviting Vaishnavas, honoring Krishna Prasad, serving nicely, not fighting with each other, keeping Krishna as the center. That place is Dham. And that's the devotees, the residents there are Dhamvasis. They're always residing in that Dham, in a holy place. So our heart, those whose heart is full of Krishna consciousness, they are walking tirthas. They are not only purifying that place they are living, they are purifying wherever they go. Today only I was hearing this point. What to speak of those who are purely chanting Krishna's name. Anyone who honors Krishna Prasads, and when he walks, he purifies the place where he walks. He makes that place holy because he has taken Krishna Prasad and is walking there. So beautiful. So from the mind of Vasudeva, Krishna came to the heart of Vasudeva. That's what is the theme of this verse. From mind to heart. And completely transcendental, spiritualized. Another word which is coming to my mind is adhokshaja. A and ja. This is the first and the last of the Hindi Varnamala. Adhokshaja means one who is beyond the a and the ja. That means he cannot be perceived by words or by material tools. He can only be perceived by transcendental bhakti. Bhaktya mam abhijananti. So he's unperceived for formidable men, demons, namam drishkritino mudha. Right? Or here the word is used durashadaha. So the mudas, the people who have no spiritual vision cannot understand. Who can understand? Premanja Churita Bhakti Vilochanena, who have the eyes of loving devotional service. They can understand Krishna as it is. Like Vasudeva. Kamsa could not perceive. Vasudeva could perceive. Why? Because of their consciousness. One was completely material consciousness and one was completely spiritual consciousness. That's a choice, to be like Vasudeva or to be like Kamsa. Any other comments anyone has on this text?
Prabhuji, may I add something?
Yeah, please.
I'm not to the level, but yet I want to add. The comments you made about how it was cumbersome for Prabhupada to write and translate the Bhagavad Gita and the Bhagavatam. In the Prabhupada Charitamrita, which we did last year, we read for a year, turn by turn, we were studying that book. He stressed how he was struggling for a peaceful place, how to translate, because he's not only making mere translation, but he had to refer to so many books, to so many acharyas and all. It was really cumbersome. And he was looking for some peaceful moment, for some peaceful place to be able to write and translate properly, because he had to refer to so many books, so many acharyas and all. And for this reason, he went to Los Angeles to find a peaceful place to write, to continue his translation. It was really cumbersome. So I just want to add this part. Thank you, Prabhuji. Back to you.
Thank you for connecting those dots. It was just coming to my mind to mention about the LA temple, because we were fortunate to go there about 4 years, 4 years back. And we saw the place, Prabhupada's quarters. For those, you can always still go whenever time and situations allow. It's a beautiful temple. And you can go to Prabhupada's quarters, where Prabhupada used to translate. Of course, he did it multiple places, but he did a lot at LA. And there are like volumes and volumes of books, a lot of books there, which are other like Vaishnavacharyas, as mentioned here. And just think about to each and every word, each and every verse referring to those, giving us the nectar. So those are still there in LA. And when you go to that area, you can please see those and take darshan of that Dhāma.
Excuse me, Prabhuji, can we go to visit? There's place to stay there.
I mean, not in the Prabhupada's quarter, but nearby, you can always find. Actually, there is actually there's a very nice community, so something can be certainly worked out. And these days, Airbnb is everywhere, so you can always take Airbnb.
My husband went, he didn't know where to go, but he couldn't find anyone at the temple.
Sorry to, anytime you need help,
if at all I decide to, I'll come through you, Prabhuji. You make arrangement for me.
Sure, Mataji, will be glad to serve Vaishnavas like you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I would like to visit that place.
Yes, I must certainly go. I should plan to go to New York, Matchless Gift, the Hare Kṛṣṇa tree, all these places, New Vrindavan, all the places where Prabhupada went. They're all holy places. They are Dhāma. Antya, Prabhupada went. We went to Florida also. We went to Miami too. When we went to Miami, devotees took us to the street where Prabhupada went. All these are holy places. These are places of pilgrimage, actually, which remind us of our spiritual master, our preeminent Shiksha Guru, our Jagat Guru, Śrī Prabhupada. How Prabhupada what struggles he underwent. When we go to Bowery, when you go to, we went there, I think 2005 or 4 years back. Yeah, 4 years back, we went there. We were feeling that even till now, we didn't feel that place as a safe place. Like 50 years back, we felt so unsafe there. walking in the midday sun, right? In the midday sun, in the like peak of the like light time, we felt, like we need to kind of, because there were so many, I don't want to use such words, but yeah, you can feel that this place is not very safe and people looking with crazy eyes and yeah, so it was a lot of people on the streets, maybe homeless, and so we felt that how much struggles from
Is it the same today now, Prabhuji? Is it the same? It feels like slum, no? Slum area. Is it the same? Slum area, no.
Yeah, the Bowery area, yes. That's the near the Hare Kṛṣṇa, the Hare Kṛṣṇa, what's that tree? The Hare Kṛṣṇa tree, yeah, that's called the Hare Kṛṣṇa tree.
It's the same condition.
They have preserved it. The tree is still there. Yeah, the tree is marked as Hare Kṛṣṇa tree, where Prabhupada did the Tompkins Square Park. Yeah, Prabhupada, that's a park. It's still there. So you can even Google Tompkins Square Park Hare Kṛṣṇa tree. You can show pictures. So yeah, the matchless gift is still there. It's owned by ISKCON. You can go there. You can go to Brooklyn Temple. You can, yeah, all the places are still there. I mean, New Vrindavan, of course. Prabhupada spent time there. LA, multiple places. Prabhupada. Montreal, Toronto.
And there's one place where there's a church. Which one is that, Prabhuji? Detroit?
Church, maybe Detroit, Fisher Mansion.
Yeah, Detroit. No?
Many churches were converted. Even the Toronto one. I don't know what. Toronto one was a big old church. Montreal, not sure. But Fisher Mansion was a big property which Prabhupada acquired. That's a whole like a story, a very nice story in our lecture how Prabhupada got that.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. Sorry to disturb you.
You're talking about Dhāma.
I wanted to know. Thank you.
Yes, I think even for the devotees in US, one should try to go there if possible, and especially in association of devotees if possible. So all the temples where, and Prabhupada is always present. Like my wife was telling me a pastime of Śrī Prabhupada. Prabhupada was with his disciples, and there was some conversation with someone, and someone asked Prabhupada, what will happen after you die? And Prabhupada said in a grave voice, I will never die. And everyone said, Jai Śrī Prabhupada. Jai Śrī Prabhupada. And then Prabhupada said, I will always be present through my books, through my ISKCON, through my devotees, through my temples, through Prabhupada's deities, through so many ways Prabhupada is present, through the festivals, through the disciples and grand disciples, through the ISKCON, through the GBC, through the parampara system he has given. He is always present through his deities. He's always present. So all those temples, where all those places, whether it's a small home, and actually every home has Prabhupada, right? All the devotees' home have Prabhupada, because that's must have. Whether it's a small picture or in image or deity, or that's the details, right? But so all those are holy places, actually, your home. So you're living in Dhāma.
Thank you.
Okay. So any other thoughts, comments, or questions before we pause for today? So we'll take a pause here and continue tomorrow with the Bhagavad Gita. And as usual, we'll continue our program Monday too. So thank you so much for your wonderful association. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Puran ki Jai. ki jai.
Jai.
Samavita Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Vancha kalpatarushya kripa sindhu
Nam Pavana Vaishnave Vayo Namo Namaha.
Thank you. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Kṛṣṇa. Hare Krishna, Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Kṛṣṇa.